Hey guys, so today we are going to talk about getting over obsessing and thinking about your ex narcissist, the rumination issues that many of us have after we get out of an abusive relationship with a toxic person or a toxic narcissist. So, if you enjoy my videos, please click subscribe and the bell icon so that you can receive notifications for future videos. And with that being said, let's get started. So, ways to stop thinking about the narcissist. When you are still attached to a toxic person, some ways to try and turn it around and move on with your life are knowing that when someone is so bad for you, so bad for your self-esteem, your trust, your happiness, your future, yet you cannot stop thinking about that ex. You can't get over that ex and you keep going back. You keep thinking about them at the very least. And 1 minute, they're swinging back and forth. They're so loving and so kind. And then they stab you in the back. They up and leave and then they reappear wanting you back. And mental abuse has so many effects while you are in it, while you are out of it. And you don't even see it happening. And worst of all, they have made you believe that it is all your fault. You have to break the pattern of thoughts within your mind, just like watching the same movie over and over again. You know what's going to happen. You know the end, yet because of the good parts, you watch it again. Or that same track of music, the more you listen to it, the more it sticks in your mind. And you might hear different parts of it each time you listen, or you might take different perspectives from it, which is great. Yet when you're listening and hearing the same thing over and over again, that's what you're hearing and what your mind is perceiving. And then your mind focuses on it. So that song stuck in your head and that you hear in the morning, that gets stuck in your head for the rest of the day. Your mind and your thoughts need interrupting, as if you are in deep conversation. Then someone takes you off topic and you forget the original point because your thought train, your mind was interrupted. So with your narcissistic ex, unfortunately, we sometimes, well, always want to change our thoughts after the end of the relationship or the discard. Yet because nothing that we've perceived as more important to focus on, stuck on the old dreams instead of finding new ones, we cannot shift those thoughts. And so we get stuck and we get caught up in this limerence and this woe is me, this pain mindset. Even though we want to move past it, we cannot shift it because of the traumatic bond. We have to find ways to make it a must. And when it's a must, when our minds know we must, and when to take action and how to find a way to do this. And when we find the methods to break the thought process and make the mind work for you rather than against you, you have to do this first. Write down your story and tell yourself, write the truth. Things like, we had an amazing connection. If you felt like you had an amazing connection with your narcissist, write that down. Say things like, they learned everything about me. They mirrored me. They faked it all. They said they would change so many times and they have not managed it. What's different now? Why are they seemingly changed for a new person? You have to understand that nothing will ever change. They will not change. And it was not your fault that they acted that way. It was not your fault that you acted the way that you did. No one deserves to be manipulated and abused, and you cannot make it work this time. You must write what's different this time to last. Nothing, because you can never make it work, as they do not love and they do not care for you, and you will find real love. If you go back to the narcissist, it'll take so much longer to find that real love and to find that healing, as they do not love you. What would a friend tell you if they knew everything? And I'm here trying to be that friend. Detach yourself from the story that you are telling yourself. Then think about your best friend. If the narcissist has cut you off from everyone, think of someone you used to be close to. Think of somebody who was always there for you. If a narcissist has cut you off from everyone, reach out to these old friends, because this might help. Then witness the whole relationship in its entirety through this person's eyes. They would tell you, this person is bad for you. This person is toxic. They have mental problems. If they know about narcissism, they may tell you that. And if they told you before, believe them now. Reach out to them because they told you that they cared at once upon a time. So tell yourself exactly what they would say to you. What would you tell someone who is going through what you are going through right now? Think of a couple. You know, if one of those were treating the other how the narcissist was treating you, what would you be telling one of those people right now when the narcissist comes swooping back for them? You'd tell them the obvious. You'd be telling them to run the other way. And sometimes we have to stop and listen to our own advice. I know I definitely have caught myself having to do that same thing. So now you have to tell yourself, keep moving forward in your your life, leaving that narcissist in the past. And when you are in it in the past, your mind creates all sorts of stories to help with these twisted words from the narcissist. And when you step away from it and you tell your mind the truth that everything was an illusion, that the person that you met in the beginning of your relationship was not real, you have to keep telling yourself that real story. Because what's the reality of staying or going back to them? Think about if you stay or you go back and what it'll be like in 6 months, 1 year. The pattern is going to go around and around and around. It's going to keep cycling, and you've seen it before. Start giving yourself a better future by thinking about how happy you will be and everything that you can do without having this narcissist, this toxic ex to answer to. And remember that you did not love them. You never loved them, even though you thought you did. Obsession, trauma bonding, and attachment to anyone is not love. And I cannot emphasize this enough. It is intense. It's mistaken for love all of the time. You think it's love. It's not love. It's those chemicals your body has released because of the highs and the lows. It's not love. And are those highs really worth the lows and the doubts? And you have to start telling yourself over and over until it sinks in your mind. It's not love. And it's an addiction. It's not love. It's an addiction. It's not love. It's an addiction. Stick to your boundaries and stick to no contact. Gray rock. If you have children in common and they still see the children, at the start, it's going to be really hard. You are going to go through real physical and emotional withdrawal symptoms, but keep going as it will get easier. Do it right now. You have to go through the withdrawals as it's no other way. You have to go cold turkey. It's far better now than it is in 10 years' time. After with the withdrawals, you will reclaim your happiness. Don't alienate your child from the narcissist. Just because you had a toxic relationship with that narcissist doesn't mean that the relationship they have with their child is over. I have to add that. You have to discover, in the meantime, a new passion for yourself and replace that void that they leave behind with new activities, new friends, anything just to keep yourself busy and keep you going so you don't go back. Sometimes it's not the person you miss, it's the routine. And remember, you're going to have down moments, a lot of them. And when you're having these down moments, put on uplifting music. As many of us, we stop listening to music while we're with a narcissist and we lose our music where we once loved it before. Look for things that you have achieved in life and look for things to be grateful for. Pattern interrupt. Whenever they just pop into your head, acknowledge that they have and then tell yourself, I'm not interested. Find anything that you can to remove those thoughts. Watch something funny, listen to something good, call a friend, start making plans for your future. Whatever it takes to reprogram your mind, you can and you will. Get help, support groups, find and connect with other people who have been their best friends, family. Reach out and find someone who can be there to help you, even if it's watching videos such as mine. My name is Sara Ann Brown, and this is Narcissistic Abuse 101.